This is how to easily beat Citidelle Des Morts Easter egg solo. Let's go. A quick glance at my loadout. If you're interested, I ran the XM4 assault rifle with these attachments. I also ran Ether Shroud with 2 charges is what I recommend to have for the boss fight. And also for Gobblegums, I think it matters too much, but a Cashback, Perkaholic, and Hidden Power would also help. So starting in the spawn room, I recommend you sit in the spawn room for about like 9 rounds at most. And then you're going to want to open up through the castle. And once it gets to this big cannon right here, you're going to want to spin the wheel and blast into the castle. Now, once you've done that, you can now make your way inside of the castle, and here I recommend you pick up Jug, maybe get a couple upgrades on your gun in terms of rarity, and just try to make sure that you make your way all the way to the bottom of the castle, either side, it doesn't really matter, and once you get to this crate, shoot all 3 of the locks off. Once you do that, a special zombie known as the Doppelgas will bust through, and you need to kill this guy. He's very, very easy to take down, and once you do that, you can pick up the red crystal and then put it in this portal, and that'll give you Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch is absolutely needed to begin this quest. Now you can come right to Quick Revive, and behind the Quick Revive machine in this little room back here, you'll see a door. If you interact with this door after you get Pack-a-Punch, you will then see Craft, and he'll begin to talk to you. Just wait for him to stop talking, and this is where you can actually begin the quest. Now, if you haven't already, make it to at least round 10, and then you will start to see these night zombies start to spawn in. So kill one of these zombies that has a night helmet on their head, and it'll drop a stamp. Pick up this stamp, and then go to this room right here with Vulturate and the giant bomb in the middle of it. Now, pick one of the 4 statues to interact with. I'm going to be starting with the deer or electric sword, and it really doesn't matter. I'll be going over each and every single one of them, starting off with the electric sword. Go to an arsenal machine and equip dead wire on one of your guns. Then come to this area right here, right beside Speed Cola, and you'll see a little electricity box and a power pole right above it. Shoot the power box with dead wire, and then this little lightning rod will pop off of it, and you can pick it up. For the second lightning rod, you need to come to this little outskirts area right here, and just beside Deadshot, you'll see a lightning rod on the ground right here. It won't be glowing or anything, just pick that up. Now, to get the third one, you might need to listen up closely here. Make sure that you have the Stag or Electricity Deer Sword in your hands for doing this step, and come to the Quick Revive or Pack-a-Punch room and just start killing zombies. Eventually, you'll see a zombie that has a lightning rod lodged into its body. Just kill the zombie, and it'll drop it on the ground for you to pick it up. Now, if you have the money, I recommend one of your first perks being Melee Macchiato, because it'll help with the sword's damage, as well as it's needed for the Easter egg anyways. Once you have all 3 of the lightning rods, come right outside the elemental pop room, and you'll see this vase. Place all 3 of them inside the vase, and it'll then summon a storm around you. Now, if you do this on an early enough round, this won't be a challenge at all. Very few zombies will spawn in, and all you need to do is just run around until your sword gets struck by lightning. Once it gets struck, it'll be electrified, and very quickly run to the vase and strike it with their sword. It'll only be in this electrified state for about 3 seconds, and once you do that, you just need to wait another time for it to be struck by lightning. Once again, strike the vase with the electrified sword, and then for a final time, wait for it to be struck by lightning, and then strike the vase again. And after you do that, the sequence should stop, and then you can insert the sword into the vase, and then you can pull it back out to get the Stag sword. Once you get the sword, place it on the knight statue, and then you have to wait to get another stamp, which you should have by this point, and then you can choose one of the other statues. The next one I'll be going over is the light or lion sword. To do this one, comes to this door right beside Speed Cola. It should have like a little line on the door itself. And now you need to wait for a bunch of yellow parasites to spawn in. Kill one of these parasites with your sword, and then your sword should begin to glow yellow. While it's yellow, go hit the door with the sword, and then a symbol should appear on it. You now need to repeat this 3 other times, so go kill a parasite, strike the door while it's glowing, and then just keep doing it until all 4 symbols are lit up. Then interact with the door. After you do that, you should be put into like a little teleporting animation, and then you'll be in this little secret room. Come to the bottom of the room and place the sword inside the shrine. Now, 4 symbols will pop out of the shrine, and also there will be 1 displayed on the pedestal itself. Look at the pedestal and then shoot the respective orb that's on the pedestal. In my game, I had a circle with the circle inside of it, a snowflake, a triangle, and then finally I had the circle with the line through it. So after you shoot one of the symbols, look back at the shrine, and then shoot the symbol that is on the shrine. It's really just that easy, like it's not very complicated at all. After you do that, the sword will then begin to glow yellow. Pick it up out of the shrine, and now you have the light sword. Take it and then put it back on its respective knight. The next sword I'll be telling you about is the fire sword, so make sure you pick up the sword from the knight that has a dragon on its chest right here. Once you have this sword, simply go up the stairs, and through this little tunnel right here, you'll see a little dragon statue, and then place the sword inside of this shrine right here. Now, you need to go find 3 bonfires. The first one is literally just right outside this room, past Melee Macchiato right here. Once you interact with it, your screen will then become all fiery and you'll begin losing health rapidly. However, you also get a massive speed boost, so run back to the shrine. There'll be a bunch of zombies spawning, and then interact with the shrine. Now, while you're in this state, you can also hit zombies, and this will heal your health back to full, so if you're ever about to run low, just hit the zombies. The next one is located just right outside of spawn on the dead shot side right here. Interact with it, you'll get a speed boost and also lose health. However, if you take too much damage, just hit one of the zombies once again to heal your health back to full, and then run back to the shrine and interact with it. The final one is going to be located right inside the spawn room, right beside the Rampage Inducer. Interact with it. This one's easily the hardest one. However, all these are super easy if you just hit zombies to regen your health back. But once again, run all the way back to the shrine, interact with it, and for the final time, it'll then begin to spray fire all over the sword, and you can pick it up to get the upgraded fire sword. Once you have it, put it back in its respective knight statue. The final one I will be going over with you is the Void Sword, which is the one with the crow on its shoulder. So once again, once you have a stamp, interact with it to pick up the sword. Now, just come to this room right here. That should be a secret room just right outside of where that little bomb room is. You just saw me walk through it, so there might be a wall there. If there is, just walk against the wall and it should just fade away. Now, in this room, there's going to be one artifact. Now, this can be a multitude of different things. It could be a rock with like a little small insect on it. It can be a skull or jawbone. It could be a horn. It can be all sorts of parts of animals. Now, your artifact can be on a shelf. It can be on a desk. It can be on a table. Whatever. But once you see it, it should have a little label underneath it. Look at the label, and it might just tell you a zodiac sign. Definitely make sure to take note of it if the label just simply says the zodiac sign. Some do not, however. In my game, I had like a little horn right here, so I just picked it up. It will stand out and be obvious, and once again, it's always inside of this room. Once you see it in your personal items, come back to spawn, use a fast travel, and come underneath the bar. Place the artifact you found and the sword on this little, like, cipher wheel right here, and interact with it. It'll put you in this little, like, invincible state right here, and you can also get an easy look at what your artifact is. Now, just by looking at your artifact, you might even know what animal it's from or is. So in my game, I had, like, a little ram horn, so I knew mine was Aries. So I can see Aries is a, like, goat thing. So mine is Aries, and it's also that symbol right there. And also, by looking at elements, Aries is also fire, so it's going to be a right side up triangle. If you do not know what your artifact is or animal is, I will leave an answer key in the description once I find one. So just check there if you're stuck. Now, if you are stuck, if you have like a rock or something, just look very closely at it. I believe a rock is like a crab, scorpion, or fish, so just try and look hard at it. So once you know your zodiac sign and zodiac element sign, input it in at the bottom there, and then music will start playing once you get it correct, and orbs will start shooting out of the cipher wheel. Orbs will now be flying and chasing after you. You will also see a portal on the floor in the basement area of this, like, bar area. So chase these orbs above the portal, and then they'll get sucked into it. You need to get 3 orbs to be sucked into this portal. Then the portal will close and then turn into a little miniature orb, and then you need to follow this orb. It should go upstairs and open a new portal. These orbs, however, will still be chasing after you. So once again, make sure these orbs, like, chase you so they're standing above this portal. They'll then get sucked into it. After 3 more orbs, the portal will close. Follow this orb until it should get to the final, like, top area of the bar with the pool table. Open a new portal. Bait these orbs, then follow you above the portal and then get sucked into it. Do this 3 more times. The portal should then close for a final time, and then follow this little miniature orb that spawns all the way back down to the basement of the bar, and then it should get teleported inside the cipher wheel. Interact with the cipher wheel, and the sword will rise up and get sucked into this portal below it, and then it should come back out after a few seconds, and you can now pick up the upgraded Void Raven sword. Take this sword and put it back on its nightstand, and now you should have all 4 swords. Now that we've gone over how to get all 4 of the swords, we're not going to go over how to get all 4 of the ritual items. Now, like the swords, these can be done in any order, and also you can do these things before you get the swords. To make this video very ordered and simple, I'm just going to do it now. For the first ritual item, which will be a horseshoe, come to this table that's right beside Deadshot, and you'll see a horseshoe right on top of this door right here. Just shoot it a couple times, it should fall down, pick it up, and like I said, here's Deadshot right here. Now that we have the base horseshoe, we can now get it powered up by going to the cannon, using the fast travel system, and while we're in midair, we'll get struck by lightning, and once you hit the ground in the spawn area, look to either side, and you'll see a storm cloud. As you can see, it just formed like right there, right outside the spawn area. So just come over to the storm cloud, a bunch of zombies will spawn in, but you'll also see the powered up horseshoe on the ground, so go and pick that up. Now you are going to need to come back to the spawn area, and like right around this area, just walk around a little bit, and after a second, a yellow symbol should appear on the floor. Put the horseshoe down, and now it's going to spawn in a bunch of zombies. That will be like an amalgam, the special enemy of this map, the Doppelgast, and just take these guys out, like just like a couple of like kills, like 20 kills maybe, and then it should finish. All of the zombies should die, and then a chest will appear where the symbol was. Now for this next step, I recommend you get the fire sword, but you can also use Molotovs. For this next step, you're going to need to come on top of the wall of the castle where the oil trap and cannon is. You'll see like a little stack of wood or hay or whatever. Then use your fire sword special ability or a Molotov and shoot it at this stack of hay. It should then light on fire and send out a bunch of little mini fireballs all over the place. These will spawn zombies in. I recommend you kill these things with your fire sword to charge it back up again. And this should now be one of 3 stacks of wood that are fired up. You can see the next one by standing right beside the cannon, and you can just shoot the special fire sword or Molotov. Once again, it should light on fire and then send out a bunch of fireballs. Kill the zombies with your sword, and this is 2 of 3. Next one's on the melee macchiato side, right beside this oil trap. You might need to bust this wall right here, and you'll see it just right there. Shoot the fire sword or Molotov, it should light on fire again. This time it'll spawn in a bunch of zombies as well as a Doppelgast. If you kill this Doppelgast, it'll then drop another amulet. This will be the raw Ankh, so go ahead and pick that up. The next soul box will just be right down from where we just were on top of the wall. You'll see a little glowing symbol, place it down, and then you can charge it up with zombie souls once again to reveal another box. Next up, we will be in the bomb or Voltrade room where all the swords are. And for this one, you're going to need to shoot a light on the ceiling just right there. You can just see it right above the bomb and above Voltrade. You need to shoot it enough to where it's glowing like exponentially. Like when you shoot it the first time, it'll be like barely glowing. You just need to keep shooting it until it's at an angle. Kind of like the Ancient Evil mirror step with the light gauntlet. Just keep shooting that mirror until it faces away where it's facing another mirror. And it'll start glowing brighter and you can no longer move it. Now you need to shoot the mirror that it's aiming at, and then just continue to shoot where it keeps pointing at. Keep like positioning the mirrors so that they're pointing at one another, and once you'll know when you get the mirror right, because it'll be shooting like a beam of light instead of just like a hologram. And this will follow you right into that room where all the void like sword stuff was at, and then it'll lead on this desk right here, revealing another relic for you to pick up. Now to begin the soul box, just come to the night room and place it on this symbol just right there. It's super easy. A bunch of zombies will spawn in, kill them to charge up the soul box, and then once it's all done, it will reveal another box. This next one is super easy. Just come right beside the pack-punch machine and use this fast travel. Now be alert, because at the very, toward the end of the water slide, you'll see a raven. It's very easy to, miss. So just try to see if you can spot it right here. Shoot it, and then it should fly out the water slide once you get done with it. And then you should see it flying away. Just shoot the raven down, and then it'll drop a raven's claw for you to pick up. Take this to the crypt room, which is the other side of Pack Punch. That's not the quick revive room. And you should see it on the ground just right there. Use it, and then it's going to summon in a bunch of zombies. This one might be a little bit tricky, but once again, it's a very quick soul box. So just keep killing zombies. Fill it up, and then once you're done, it'll kill all the zombies and reveal the final augmentation box. Now, on the back wall in that same crypt room, come and destroy this wall with Melee Macchiato, revealing a Ancient Evil puzzle step. However, this time we actually do need to do a little bit of work to find the puzzles, so come use this fast travel and go to the bar where we did the Raven Sword upgrade. Now there will be 6 bottles labeled 1 through 6 in Roman numerals. So the first one is just going to be right here on the countertop, and I interacted with it and it revealed the symbol. I'm just going to go ahead and label this as 1 and write down that symbol. 2 is going to be right here on this cloth tabletop right here. Interact with it. I got a pitchfork. I'm going to write that down on my paper as 2. 3 is going to be way back here in the corner. Interact with it. I'm going to write that down as 3. Now 4 is going to be on the upper level with Wonder Fizz right here on this counter. Interact with it. I got that symbol. 5 is just going to be right across from 2 on this booth right here. Finally, 6 is going to be right here on this table, right beside the door, and I'm just going to write that down as 6. Now, come back down to the code in the wall and input the code 1 through 6. It's going to be different every single game. Now, keep in mind, after you shoot 1, it's going to shuffle around a little bit, and if you take too long in between, it's also going to shuffle around, so just don't let that confuse you. The order is just going to stay the exact same of how you shoot them. It's just going to shuffle it around a little bit, but yeah. Once you input all 6 of those correctly, it should turn off and then reveal a hidden book in the wall. Now we need to go find 4 pages. Luckily, they are very easy to find. Come upstairs to where all like the fancy like couches and beds are at, and all the pages are going to be in this room and the outer skirts of this room. So just like, and as in outer skirts, I just mean like the room that's like in between the walls. It's not like in the secret room earlier or anything like that. It's just like in the like corridor surrounding this area. And they're basically all in very simple locations. They're glowing red, so you should be able to see them. So these are where they were in my games. And like I said, it's either going to be in the stamina up room itself or just in the hallway surrounding it. Now that you got those 4 pages, and once again, they will vary per game, but and this is how you're going to read the book. So this will be number 1, this will be number 2, this will be number 3, and this will be number 4. And so just read just like a normal book, and these will matter, the order will matter, because we're going to need to go interact with traps that correspond with the symbol. So as you can see in my game, I just had like a simple eyeball first, then I had a crazy one with like 8 things poking out of it, then I had one with just 4 things poking out of it, and then I had one with eyelashes poking out of it. I'm now going to show you every single trap location, but just to let you guys know, if there is one of these symbols on the traps that are appearing more than the other ones, do not be too afraid, because there is definitely going to be like one that appears way more on the traps than the other ones. And also, it is the exact same 4 symbols every game, just different orders. So keep that in mind. So the first trap location is going to be in the Pack-a-Punch room. The next one will be inside of the Quick Revive room. There's also one in the courtyard right in front of the castle and cannon. The next one is right in front of Deadshot in the stable, and as you can see, this symbol has already appeared like 3 times for me, so way more than the other ones, so that is what I was talking about earlier. The next one is going to be in the Stamina Up room right here. The last one is going to be below Speed Cola and the Lion Door from earlier, so there you can see it right there. And my first one was a default eyeball, and that is what the default eyeball just looks like right there. And when you have the right one, the first one for me, which was this one, it will be different for you, of course. But you just need to activate the trap and get like 10 kills in the trap, and it'll deactivate, and that is literally just that easy. You can run back to the book and check, and it should be grayed out. This is what the eyelashes looks like. This is what the one with 8 things poking out of it looks like. And finally, this is what the one with 4 things poking out of it looks like. Once you have completed the book, it'll now be fully grayed out, and you can run over here, and you should see all 4 of the elements of the swords on this wall right here, and they should be labeled with numbers in Roman numerals. And as you can see, the first one is fire for me, the second one is electricity, the third one is light or the lion, and the 4th one is void. This is going to be the order that we need to use the incantations for that we unlocked earlier with the chests. The order will be different in your game, so just make sure you got it right. First one I got in my game was fire, and the fire incantation is right here in this chest, so we're just going to go ahead and slash it with our sword. It will reveal the incantation. Go and pick that up, go back to the knight, and the fire knight is right here with the dragon on his chest. We're going to use the incantation, which is in our tactical slot, which will melee this guy, and then we're going to inspect our sword. He will then salute you, and then will be shining yellow, and then this is where you can drop the sword in his hands. Next up, do the next one, which was number 2 for you guys. Mine was the electric sword. The incantation for the electric one is at spawn right here. Go and pick that up after meleeing it. Take it back to the knight. Use it on him. Inspect your weapon. He'll then salute you and then drop it in his hands once he's shiny. Then do the third one for you guys. Mine was light. Pick up the incantation, which is just in the same room as the knights. Use it on this lion statue. He'll then salute you after you inspect your weapon and then give it to him once he's shining. And the final one for me was the void incantation, which is in the crypt area. Play the chest, pick up the incantation, take it back to the statue, use it on the statue, and then put it back in its hands once it's shiny. After all 4 knights are shining and their swords are in their hands, they will then summon up a mystical orb. It will slowly come to the floor, and then you can pick it up. And now we're in the home stretch. There's only a couple more things to do. Now, these next steps can be done in any order, but the first one is going to be the light challenge. Place the mystical orb right across from Voltrade on the second floor of the night room, and it's going to spawn these green balls in. You need to stand on top of these green balls to donate souls to the mystical orb. You can run through them, or you can just constantly stand into them, and as you're standing in them, you will see that like these yellow orbs will be teleported to the mystical orb. Zombies will spawn in, use the special ability if you need to, and yeah, so just stand in these orbs and donate souls to it, and after a while, the challenge should be succeeded, zombies will be killed, and you can go pick up the mystical orb. Next one will be the fire one, and to do this one, it's going to be like on the other side of the incantation chest, just right here, just place it down. And for this challenge, you are going to need to kill zombies right in front of this orb. So you cannot be very far, like it really just has to be right in front of this thing. Just kill zombies, their soul will be absorbed into the mystical orb. This one might be a little bit trickier because you're going to get a lot of those doppelgas to spawn in. But yeah, just use the fire sword, the special ability, and kill a ton of zombies in front of the mystical orb, and then it should be complete. The next one is the lightning challenge, which is literally just right next to the lightning incantation. Just place it right there beside the gate. And for this one, you need to get kills, not near it, but you do have to use the electrical sword, and you have to use these special abilities to just kill zombies to charge it up, and use that beam of electricity from the sword to just kill hordes of zombies. You should be able to do this in just like 1 or 2 special moves with the sword, and after that, the orb will be charged, and you can pick it back up. For the void one, just place it literally right beside the incantation for this one too, in the crypt area, and you need to get kills with the special attack of the void sword as well. This one should be super easy to just do in 1 move. This one might be a little bit tricky though, because there will be a bunch of like doppelgas, so just watch out for those guys, and use the special attack to kill hordes of zombies, and you should get this done very easily. But once all 4 of them are done, pick up the mystical orb and head to that same symbol that had all the elements and numbers right here, and put it in. And congratulations, you have beaten the Easter egg steps, just not the boss fight yet. But pick up the key that's on the table, and you can get like a little owl cutscene. You can stay to watch it, or you can just leave and hear Sam talk the whole time. But the owl cutscene is pretty cool, and there's also a lot of cool like notes and stuff in this room. But yeah, you can also just leave this room immediately too. But you guys are going to get prepared for this boss fight, because this boss fight is pretty crazy. I recommend you get a long-range build, like an LMG, an assault rifle, likely an assault rifle. LMGs are trash. The shotgun wouldn't be too bad for this boss fight. The semi-automatic one, not the main. But yeah, get full perks from the Wonder Fizz inside the bar area. Make sure I recommend you use the Raven Sword to go in the boss fight, 2 Ether Shroud charges, and 3 plates of armor, because this boss fight is pretty crazy. It's not as hard as Terminus, but it's still pretty challenging. But once you guys are ready, head to this statue and spawn and place the key down. After a few seconds, you'll be in like a little quick cutscene thing where the boss will break out of his statue, and then he'll teleport you to the epic boss arena. Now, this boss has 3 phases. In the first phase, I recommend you shoot his ankles. He's gonna have like, of course, 2 ankles, and you need to break the 2 ankle shields. And after you do that, he's gonna expose some very big weak spots. And he has a couple attacks. He can hit his hammer on the ground from far away, and that'll like sling molten lava on the ground. He can also hurl fireballs at you out of his mouth, and if that hits the ground, it'll create a fire hole or a fire like lava area of effect damage, so just stay away from that. And he can also stomp on you if he's close enough, but he's very slow in this first phase, and there's not too many zombies, and you have plenty of space to move around in. But if these attacks do hit you, they can do massive damage. If they don't have armor, he can almost 2-shot you with no armor, so be aware of that. And overall, the first phase is not too hard at all. He's very slow. And shoot his ankles. After you do enough damage to 1 ankle, it should break off his shield. You can expose like a lava weak spot, so shoot that. You can break 1 ankle off and then do the same to the other one. And then after that, he should be into his stun phase. You'll know it when you're in this phase because lava will start pouring out of the ceiling, and also you'll lose a lot of play space. Just like Patient 13, he can't do damage to you. His health bar will disappear, and it'll just spawn in a bunch of zombies. Take out those zombies. At the end of this stun phase, Now there can be Doppelgas that'll start to spawn, and he'll also reward you with the max ammo. He has absolutely no blast attacks or like insta-kill attacks, so there's nothing to be aware of in that part. However, you will lose about 1/3 of the arena size, and there will be lava surrounding the arena now, so watch out for that. He can also like jump in the air and smash the ground now, and also like he can do a lot more of like ranged attacks now, and he's also a lot more speedy. He will now actually run towards you now. So, overall, he didn't change too much. He can just jump in the sky and land on you. But overall, it's not too bad. He can fling you across the entire arena. Doppelgas are there. But honestly, if you kill the zombies, they just stop spawning. So, I don't know what's going on there. But this time, you need to shoot his shoulders. His shoulders will be very weak. And once again, once you shoot the guards off, you can just shoot his, like, very weak molten spot on his shoulders. And that'll do massive damage once you destroy those. Eventually, after you degrade this man enough, he will then go into his defensive state once again. And his health bar will disappear. And lava will flood through the ceilings. And this will take away another third of the arena, so now it's basically just you on that middle platform, and this is a very cramped space. Amalgams will start spawning now, and this just gets very, very deadly. Once he comes out of this state, pick up the max ammo, and his chest will now be glowing, so you now need to shoot like the very core of his chest. There will be a spot in his chest that's like especially bright, so shoot that to do critical damage to him. But overall, the zombies will actually like despawn pretty quickly. Like, there's not too many zombies, and then they'll just disappear forever. And basically, it's just a one-on-one with the boss after that. And like I said, there's very little room to move around on. He'll be just as quick. If you need to, pop an ether shot, and he'll just stand still, so you can get easy damage in. But this is definitely the hardest phase of the fight, is this very last part here, popping the gums. And overall, once you finally destroy his core, like, if there's not too much health in this phase, once you finally kill him, he will drop an artifact for you, and you can pick it up, and congratulations, you have now beaten Citidelle Des Morts. And you can enjoy that awesome ending cutscene. You can now get the new Jackknife Weaver skin. And overall, it's just a great time. This map is like an S tier map, if I'm being real with you. I have had an absolute blast on this map. And please, Treyarch, do more stuff like this. And hope you guys did enjoy this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.